Which haunted place in Singapore is not actually that haunted? I mean, besides Pearl's Hill lah.
Of course, Pearl's Hill is not haunted
Not haunted at all.
The other place that I would say that people say is haunted, but it's not, to me, is Bukit Brown Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
I honestly would stay
Yeah.
overnight at Bukit Brown Cemetery and sleep there comfortably and safely. Cemeteries are not haunted places, even though most people think they are.
What's up? And welcome to the KopiBros podcast presented to you by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, you guys are in for a scary treat today for Halloween, as we have invited one of the scariest guests. Not scary in person, but the guest
experience very scary.
Yeah, really the scariest experience. The most scared I have ever been on this podcast. Mr. Eugene Tay, the founder of Supernatural Confessions. Yes, honestly, the stories that he shared, right, like really changed your mind.
Really. To echo what Brandon said, right, this is of course not my first time talking to Eugene. Hearing his story for the second time about some of his experiences still raises the hair on my hand one.
It was really such an insightful things, especially if you are currently going through this kind of experience yourself. Before we continue, a word from our sponsor.
So this episode of the Chit Podcast is brought to you by SG Watch Hub, Singapore's one-stop platform for all things watches. Whether you're buying, selling, or just obsessed with timepieces, SG Watch Hub connects you to trusted sellers, retailers, and collectors so that you can find the perfect piece for your wrist.
But it's not just a marketplace. SG Watch Hub offers a full range of services from repairs, polishing, and strap replacement to protective films, watch winders, and authentication services, making sure your watch is always in top shape and 100% authentic. They also work with featured vendors like Goodman Luxury, Singapore's premier luxury watch retailer at Orchard Plaza, known for their professional watch protection film installation using high-end WSP films to keep your prized timepieces scratch-free and pristine.
And here's the exciting part. You can stand a chance to win a full protective film service from Goodman Luxury or $150 in cash through our Instagram giveaway with SG Watch Hub happening right now. Just follow the instructions below and stay tuned on the Chit Chatter Podcast and SG Watch Hub's Instagram for more details.
Once again, a big thank you to SG Watch Hub for sponsoring this episode. SG Watch Hub, bringing the world of watches to your fingertips.
Now, back to the episode. Well, today, our guest is the founder and the lead storyteller of Supernatural Confessions, a prominent Singapore-based platform dedicated to sharing and investigating real-life paranormal experiences across Southeast Asia. He has become a respected figure in the local supernatural community, curating personal confessions, producing podcasts, and live events. To find out more about his experience, please join me in welcoming Eugene Tay!
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Eugene, for taking the time, especially during this period of time where we're always going to be very busy with
crazy,
the 7th month and the Halloween.
Yes. Culture Pass just launched. Yeah.
Yes. Based on moving into your non-haunted new location at Pearl Hill.
Clearly, you have been watching my podcast as well. After June onwards, it's a good type of crazy. I like this level of busyness, and I always say I I run from place to place. Quite thankful that my tours have really picked up after 3 years of really pushing out dark tourism in Singapore. Finally, mainstream got news of me, and Shoutouts did a cover of dark tourism is coming out.
Yes.
But the amount of sweat for the last 3 years.
But actually, before we start, I really wanted to ask you more about your Something Strange festival, which was recently concluded. Could you give our listeners a bit of context?
Something Strange Festival is a way for us to celebrate the mystical, the fantastical, and the macabre. Things that are not quite mainstream, things that fall on the side of paranormal, supernatural. And we're not even talking about this hardcore ghost stuff. Anything that is whimsical even, we're talking about Tim Burton style. It gets celebrated within that festival. So if you're a content creator or you're a fan of shows like Addams Family, Wednesday, or the Conjuring Universe, anything that is remotely not normal, gets celebrated in Something Strange Festival. So last year we ran 3 days. We had a tour, we had a dining experience followed by a live show with people with third eye coming up to tell their stories. And on the last day, it was an open public conference where we talk about horror movies, Hollywood version of horror movies and the Japanese version of horror movies. Come, let's debate. You know, and people started coming down.
That's a
Japanese
good
are better,
idea.
Hollywood are better. And we're like, why? Right? So we make horror fun to enjoy. So even if you are not into the whole spooky thing, but you are just into the genre of weird, that is a festival for you. So this year we were a bit more ambitious. We ran it for 10 days.
10 days,
And we
yeah.
brought in other partners in the local community. Like it would not be a festival if you did not invite other horror content creators. After 10 days, I was floored because I was so tired. Yeah, but I think the most memorable bit about Something Strange Festival this year that we ran it as a new thing is what we call the longest podcast competition. Not competition, longest podcast record, so to speak. Different content creators came on board, renowned content creators that you probably would have seen their channel, seen their content
Hantu
online.
podcast, yeah.
Hantu, POV horror, right? These are
correct,
the top names in horror. Even Hellbang came. So the whole idea was not to pressure ourselves, but to just tell ghost story back to back to back to back for as long as our audience and us can tahan. The audience all go home and that's it like show over. And we ran for I think 5 hours plus.
Oh, wow.
And then as podcast content creators yourself, you know,
5
hour,
hours,
2 hours already, we shag already, right?
shag already. I can't imagine the third hour, the mind is completely blank.
Yeah. And we had a professional setup thanks to the boys from Hantu. The stories that contributed by our co-host was really scary. Like I get spooked out. Like, and I'm supposed to be acclimatized to stories already. I get spooked out. But I think the best bit about it is because we wanted to do something for charity. I mean, festivals as the way is such, you can obviously get all your top content creators, tell those stories and pat yourself at the back and be done for the day. But we wanted to give back to society. So as a group, we selected the Children's Society.
Okay.
And then
that's such a good
we
cause.
raised about 2K plus.
That's
Put
good.
donations.
Donations, yeah.
And we said, no, every cent goes to them. We don't even put, the QR code goes directly to the Children's Society, it's not to us.
Before we dive into your origins and why you decided to delve into the supernatural, I think it's a very interesting point before we actually start to ask you about your non-haunted office location. So I just wanted to invite you to tell the story, like why is it specifically must mention non-haunted?
It's a very cute story, Jing Young. That unit that I wanted to take over, the previous tenant just left in a hurry. Everything was left behind.
Wow.
Fast, right? When I saw the place, I felt a draw to that location already. And I said, I think it's time I started a brick and mortar venue to bring people in, bring my community in, and so that we could all learn together, we could raise our vibrations together. A self-guided, self-discovery center for personal advancement. However that advancement or that enlightenment mean to you, right? Is to be the best version you can be. And not just through mindset, but through body, spirit, and soul. So I wanted to get a place like that. And when I found that place, I said, okay, suitable for my needs. The tenant wants to move out. Why don't I ask the landlord? So when I go up to the landlord and I asked him for the place, he goes like, I know you. You that ghost guy. He's like, I don't want to rent out a place to you because you're going to tell ghost stories about my place. I'm like, no. I won't. This is not Supernatural Confessions. This is the halls on the hill. I'm here for enlightenment. Like, good stuff, right? Then you're like, no. To be sure that you're not going to tell ghost stories, I'm going to put it in the contract. So I'm the only tenant in the whole of 195 Persil that have officially black and white in the contract that says, I will not say that 195 Persil
It's haunted. Okay.
I find it very cute. Then when I took over the place, the entire building is a beautiful artistic enclave. The neighbors are great.
Pottery, there's F&B there.
Bro, you know that kind of kampong vibe you do not find anywhere else in Singapore. So I can obviously understand that bringing the haunting reputation or bringing up a place like that, even though it's 100 over years old, and calling it haunted is just irresponsible to the other tenants who may not like it. The fair point is, most of the tenants you talk to already know some story about the place. No one's trying to hide it. No one's trying to pretend it's not, right? But I can also understand where they're coming from. Like, we don't want to sensationalize it.
Because I've been to the place lah, but once it crosses a certain time, a lot of studios close lah. That's all I will say lah.
Yes.
Okay.
It gets slightly eerie past once it's done. All the lights off. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say something that might breach my contract, but not so, because I'm not claiming the place is haunted. But I can tell you from first-hand experience as a person who deals with spirit world and ghosts, 195 Pearls Hill is very welcoming. Let's put one assumption here, okay? There are spirits everywhere in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether you can see, you can't see, whether it's haunted or haunted, there are spirits. We as Asians, we believe there are spirits everywhere.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that 195 Pearls Hill's spirits are not as malicious as people think they are.
Oh, okay. I would like you to take us all the way back to your journey. Could you share more about like how your journey into the supernatural started and how you decide to eventually say, I want to communicate with them?
Pre-2012, I was just as chicken shit as Brandon here. like leave the hantu out of my life. Like, I know you exist, but let us never have to cross paths, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't say chicken shit is the level I'm at, lah, but close. I think it's quite close enough.
Like, don't bother me. I don't bother you. Put your company, right? Yeah. Then, of course, something happened, and that series of something was what brought about my 2-year experience with the supernatural that led me to writing a book. In a nutshell, in a 2 years experience, someone I love was possessed.
Oh.
And I had to go through a series of remarkable experiences, things that I cannot explain, things that I've seen with my own eyes that telling someone else would brand me as someone who's crazy. For my own sanity, I had to write everything I experienced down in a book, own it, because I knew if I don't write it down, in the years to come, I would forget it exists or question my own sanity. And it's very easy when all of us, when we see ghosts, we're like, I think we'll rationalize it away.
Yeah.
So I did not want to rationalize it away. I didn't want to forget my trauma. So I wrote it in a book. And when I finished it, I owned it. It's a case closed for me. I put it there. After my book came to print, became bestseller at Kinokuniya for a short while, within a year. And the ladies called me up and said, Eugene, I have not told this story to anyone before, not even my husband, not even my family. But I would love to share this with you because I read your book and I know you would believe me and you not call me crazy. So for 3 hours we spoke. There's no exchange of currency. And at the end of 3 hours, she's like, thank you, listening to me. Thank you for believing in me. And I don't even remember her name at the end of that 3 hours. We put down the phone and to her, she said, it's a burden off my chest. That's the first of the many that started calling me up and wanted to share. My tagline of you are not alone, there's resonates with a lot of people. You're not alone because there are unseen things around you. And you're not alone as well. That this is a movement where survivors can speak up about their experiences without being mocked, without being ridiculed. So we got a safe space. So that's how Supernatural Confessions started.
Oh, wow.
Through that, my own experiences, through the community coming up and saying they needed that safe space. Then as they're telling the story, we as survivors wanted to find answers to our experiences. These answers may not necessarily mean they are the truth in terms of the scientific truth, but gives us a bit of explanation about what we have encountered. Even if it's a debunking statement, or even if it's because of folklore, because of superstitions, because of something, because of religion, that's why we face it. I think it's the human need to want to fill these blanks with knowledge. And here's one thing I found out over the years. Knowledge is what gives us the courage. Today, walking into a haunted room, or in many cases in the last 10 years, walking into a haunted room, someone's possessed, place that is demonic entity, Mother Mary flying off the altar, there's not so much fear in me because I understood what I was dealing with. It's when you don't understand, and then every haunting becomes the same. Yeah, so that's kind of how I got into it and started really pushing the envelope into the paranormal.
I also know that because your book is such a bestseller, it's actually out of print. But the good news is that your 10th anniversary edition is coming out soon, right?
Yeah, 1st November. 1st November, I'm doing my book signing. In fact, I think right now at the printers, I was doing like the proofing.
Yeah.
And I'm very blessed this time. When I first printed my book, I was doing it solo with the help of my staff back then. I have the writers who helped me edit it. I wrote it myself, but I got other writing colleagues who edited for me. I got a photographer who took the photo, the designer to do the cover. But this time I have an entire production team from chief editor to artists, local artists coming on to contribute their drawings, pixelating it as well. So when I saw the book coming to life 10 years after I wrote it, to me, it was very surreal because most of the stories in the book after I wrote it, frankly, guys, I did not reread it again because when I closed the book and print it, that's my closure. So now to see it brought to life again by other people who wants a revival of what I've written, flipping open the pages, reading it, almost like a third person perspective, like, oh wow, that's cool. This guy's adventure is so awesome, but it's me.
Yeah.
But that's how detached I am from my own
From the book.
experiences.
Mm.
And this 10-year anniversary as well, it's a very special edition because it's not just a reprint, a blind reprint, new art, new stories inside, because people have asked, so in the last 10 years, what happened, Eugene? Like, how's your journey like? How's the character like? How were you like? This 10-year anniversary explains all that. Give credit to the people who were there in my life in the last 10 years. But more importantly, give a tip of the hat to what's likely to happen in the next 10 years. I don't know what's going to happen, but so far it seems like the next 10 years it will be me being in the
Exciting, lah.
driver's seat. Yeah. In the words of the Godfather, just when you think you got out, they drag you back in. Yeah, that's how I feel.
So now we'll move on to especially what a lot of listeners will be wondering, right? That they are curious about how you actually communicate with the supernatural. So could you like share with us the process about how of trying to like communicate with them?
Guys, I'm going to be a bit wet blanket here. I know you all watch enough Hollywood movies to know speaking with the supernatural would have mirrors flying around the room, right? Chairs that float.
Everything's falling from the shelves.
No. Unfortunately, 10 years in the field, the most common occurrence is doors closing, windows closing, slamming open and shut, even though there's no plausible explanation how the door would close and open with such ferocity. EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, things caught onto audio or to audio devices in a way where, again, it cannot be explained. We use EMF, electromagnetic field meter, EMF, to get a yes, no. Then later on, I started using pendulum. I started, trying to get them to do knocking sound, like 1 knock, 2 knocks. Sometimes turn off lights, turn off cameras. So it's very poltergeisty in the response that they give me. Sometimes they will toss about religious artifact and those kind of haunting that I know, okay, we're dealing with somewhat demonic entity. But I've not seen myself fly out. I've not seen a possessed person levitate as well. Speaking a different voice, yes. Clawing themselves, getting a strange bruise appearing in front of my eyes, yes. The communication, even exorcism work, all in here. And all in here. I get the download. I know what's going on. But to a third person observing what it looks like is just me standing there with my eyes closed, putting my hand on the person's forehead. The person's probably growling. Then half an hour later and half an hour of me closing my eyes, putting my hand there. Everything just comes down. But and this is not just me. I've seen practitioners themselves doing exorcism work, chanting of mantra, chanting of the Quran, just repeating a certain mantra over and over again until the evil has been abolished. Or even for Christians, they will read the Bible, they say the prayers. The modus operandi has always been the same, and it's just different words, different style, that's it. So for me, I cannot see with my third eye. I do not have the sight to see ghosts, walking around and strangling me. No, I can't see that. When I close my eyes and I get into a deep focus state, I just know, if that makes sense. Like, I know where it is, I know what to do. And if you ask me, how do I know? Can you rationalize why you know? Like, I don't know. I just download. It just comes in, right? And when it comes in, to me, it's the truth. There's no arguing it. It's not like you conjure something out yourself and you go like, did I make that shit up myself? Or something? The sun rises from the east. That's how sure you are. And then you just execute it. And sometimes just putting my hand on the possessed person, the angels or the guides or my ascended masters just take over the role and they do their shtick. And then after that, I know it's done, and that's it.
That's really a lot just to take for someone. I can't even imagine myself in the situation. But I was just let us think back. Like, do you remember your first time trying to communicate? Because you said like all this, because it's all this knowledge you have gained from your experiences. Then now you know what to do. or the first time, I believe it won't be as easy, right?
Never forget your first time ever.
Yeah.
Never. I was already in a series of experiences where I couldn't quite explain. Seeing a person possessed, you still tell yourself, multiple personality disorder, mental disorder, stress, everything but the hantu, right? So I never
Okay.
got into this thinking is the ghost, right? I got into it thinking it must be everything but. I think it was 6 months into the entire ordeal already, where I was obviously traumatized, and I wanted to challenge the spirit
Wow.
to prove to myself that spirits don't exist. So she was in front of she being my girlfriend then. She was sitting in front of me. She was possessed, and I put flour on the floor because I checked out online how to see spirits, right? So you put flour on the floor, and you call the spirit, and then you see footsteps, right? So I'm like, okay lah, let's have a go at this. My intention, as I said, was to prove that ghosts don't exist. So if I were to put a flour on the floor and I keep challenging you, and then nothing appears, then it's like either you covered or you don't exist, right? I can tell myself that, right? I put a flour on the floor and if you are real, you walk, come find me, you show yourself. Then my vulgarities all come out because scared, right? Then you want to show that you can. Then all the vulgarities, the Hokkien expletives all came out, right? Right then, I saw footsteps appear on the floor from her to me in like a 2 meter distance. Guys, I will tell you at that point in time, I system hang, okay? You know when they said you're so scared your balls go up to your throat? You know that saying? I literally felt something stuck here and my whole body just shrunk in, like really fear. And there's a fight or flight, right? I froze. I system hang. I couldn't react. I just saw the footstep. Poke. What? You want to fight? What? You want to flee where? You just stuck. So from the whole bravado, F language and expletive, you go, sorry.
Wow, I can imagine that. So
and it really made me feel, at that point in time, I felt like a loser lah, because you got bullied lah. And right after that, I threw myself into the paranormal world. I started sleeping at cemetery. I started doing paranormal hunting with the intent to overcome my fear and to let me fight you on your turf. Let me go to your world and communicate with you. So I was trying my very best to communicate with them by challenging them. Although on hindsight now, looking back at what I did, it's extremely dumb and stupid, and no one should ever try that.
I cannot imagine, because after that, from moving, not getting that experience, right? Then after you move on to decide to film yourself and after communicate with them, and then started this entire channel. What was the train of thought from I really got someone fighting back with me. I challenged them, I got fight back. Then I now shall start my filming journey.
Around that point in time in 2012, if you just go online and check out what's hot back then, paranormal shows were the up and up. Back then, the big brother of paranormal shows in Singapore, the brand name was SPI.
Yes, Singapore.
Right? So these are tip of the hat to the old guards who paved the way for people like me, right? And then there's also American movies like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventurers with Zach Bagans. It was hot topic back then. So in my search and research for paranormal content and understanding to get answers to what I'm facing, I of course watch everything I possibly can get my hands on. And so I started picking up what they are doing lah. Bring devices, bring all this equipment, go down to haunted places, and is there any spirit here? Please show yourself. That very famous line. Of course, I don't do that anymore. Not that I can't. It's just that I know now that doing that is more for the audience. It's more for entertainment and anything else. But if I'm really doing exorcism work and paranormal work, that doesn't work. Right? Just because your device doesn't light up doesn't mean the ghost is not there. Just holding it on and looking at you and laughing at you, right? But I did all that because that was the only low-level knowledge I had at that point in time to begin with. But through using all these devices, then I started getting evidence, collecting evidence. And to me, that was my way of communicating because I had no third eye, I had no intuition, no gifts back there, no sensitivity. I'm blind. I could go into cemetery and sleep overnight. I also cannot see anything, right? So I needed devices to help me. And I understand that's why people use devices for paranormal entertainment shows because you need to show something to the audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some proof, some evidence, some proof of what you're doing.
But I can tell you, having done all these electronic devices and gadgets, right? I now begin to have my suspicions about channels that have such easy read on these devices. Like, because if I wanted to fake it, I could as well.
Yeah.
And having done this for 10 years, I know being to so many haunted places, like I don't never get this kind of response. Like, how do you get this every week, bro? You know? If I watch a horror movie, I want to be spooked out. Right? I want to see something happening, right? Don't tell me I watch a horror movie, nothing happened. Wow,
after three episodes, you're still looking at like no readings. Because you just mentioned that like sometimes when people tell you that like do a confession for you, and then sometimes you will help to go and verify them. Like what steps do you actually take to like verify like a story, or like how do you eventually like help these people?
I mean, there's a few ways of verifying. If it's just a story, someone calls me up and says, Eugene, I want to share something with you. There's very little for me to verify because of the way we started our platform, where we are giving a safe space for people to express themselves.
Share stories.
Share stories, right?
Yeah.
And then I should not be
like
looking at every story with verifying glass and be like, are you sure? Because I have a few safeguard measures to determine a story, even though I'm not verifying it, as true. First of all, whoever's sharing the story with me, there's no fame. I don't come up and like, this is so and so who told the story to me. Round of applause. Everyone's like, wow, limelight on the person. Most times they don't want the limelight. It's like, please don't share who I am. I don't want my family to know. So there's no limelight. There's no fame to be gotten. There's no financial gains because unlike True Singapore Ghost Story, I'm not paying $50 for a story or Storm $5 for a report, right?
Yeah.
So for you to make the effort to call me, to send it to me with no financial gains, no fame, then what are you in it for? There's no ROI. So if there's no ROI, but you're making all the effort to send me a story, I can only then assume that this story must mean something to you, and that's why you want to share it. Your payoff is that release of burden on yourself. Now, whether the story is true or not, I was not there. None of us was there to feel the fear that you felt. Maybe you could explain it, right? Sure, you can debunk it. But the fear you felt at that point in time during the experience, no one can discount that. So I respect that fear. I respect your journey. I will tell your story. Then on my show, of course, as an expert in the field, I will give my 2 cents worth of what could this haunting possibly be. Then at least that way, skeptics get their joyride. The confessor gets to express, and everyone gets to share what they think this haunting was about. Because to debunk is easy. To debunk is very easy. Oh, it's not real. It's the wind. What, you scientists now, you can do the barometer, the measure. Right? So
like
there are 2 sides of the same coin. So to say that Aya is not a ghost is the same 2 sides of the same coin. Or someone who says, it's the ghost. Explain lah. Right? Because we want to have that discussion. It's not saying one was right and one is wrong. But if you can explain it, you can try to even shoehorn a rational explanation into it. Like some of my co-hosts, they like to say, it's a string lah, it's an EMF lah. At least there is something, and that creates conversation. And we want to have that conversation. The more conversation we have, the more accepting we are of the paranormal, the more we can normalize people's experiences. And therefore, hopefully, in time to come, people don't get ridiculed. Or even they do get ridiculed out there on the internet, they know Supernatural Confessions is that safe space for them.
So in that case, right, since we are talking about verifying stories, I believe a lot of people will ask you about their homes being haunted lah. So what do you think are some of the telltale signs that your house is haunted, and what do you think people should do if they think that is really haunted?
Let's answer the first question first. What are the signs of a house being haunted? Then we'll engage what to do if you suspect your house is haunted. For haunted houses, either black magic, curses. These are the two main ones lah. The third case is you take over a place and the place is already haunted. And that's usually because there's a gruesome death there. Not all the time, but there may be a gruesome death that the spirit cannot let go. Black magic, people jealous of you, cast black magic, or curses, or even lineage, family line. And the signs are very, very subtle. Most times you wouldn't even know it's haunted until very much later. Health will deteriorate, career will be affected, relationships will be affected. Then you may start seeing shadows in the house. You may start getting sleep paralysis. But that could also happen without the house being haunted. But you need to string many of these poltergeist activities happening. Things, cups placed here, gets moved around. Seeing doppelgangers. Your wife is obviously out of the house. You turn to the kitchen, your wife is there. Little things like that. Very subtle. Most times you blink and it's gone. And that's why people who live in haunted houses sometimes don't know they live in haunted houses. Usually when it becomes too serious already, then they will call me in. And by then I have to deal with something that is very resident in the house. Somebody's about to die or somebody has already died. Then that becomes very unfortunate. But for most people who now comes to the second question of what do you have to do if you suspect your house is haunted? Before you pick up the phone and start calling us, I would always recommend taking a lime, those kaffir lime, the very wrinkled, the little like testicle one, cut it in half, right? Put it around the house. Or don't even cut it in half, just put the fruit around the house. You'll see that if your house is haunted in a certain part of the room, that lime will decay faster. Because that lime has a certain property of absorbing negative energy. So you can even use salt, put salt and water, do your mantra, do your blessings, say your whatever prayers based on your own religious affinity, throw salt water in all these places. Also would help. The leaves from that lime, you soak it in water, put your salt, stir, put that water into like a little canister, you spray. You go spray your house, spray all around. These are non-religious way of blessing. So if you're religious, obviously you have your background to depend on. But for most of us who listening in who may not have a religious holy water to reach out to. You can use these items. That's how you would. Sometimes after you spray, then you find that your entire bookshelf, the book just toppled. I think I call Eugene now.
I'm to call expert.
Oh, looks like we're not doing something so simple.
Yeah. The most important thing is to find out why it's haunted. What is the haunting about?
It's a bit like investigative work also lah.
That's why I always say when we do actual paranormal investigation, it's really a lot of investigative work. It's less on the paranormal. It's more asking questions, more finding out why. Interviewing the family members, like, is this a new house? Have you gone anywhere recently? Traveled, then you came back, then you got these dreams. So you need to remove the possibilities, right? Then you streamline down to what could it be. Not always honest with you. Because if someone does something wrong, right, they're not going to tell you, like, I'm having an affair, then my mistress is not cursing me, right? So you got to really poke and prod. It's really investigative.
When, let's say, we really ascertain that this place is haunted and then the experts come in, how do they decide, like do we get rid of this supernatural stuff, or like do we leave them be, or do we co-live with them, or like do we have to move out?
Not every time you can chase them out. Most times when there's a haunting, assuming it's not a curse, assuming it's not a targeted black magic attack on someone, the haunting is usually the way the spirit wants to communicate with the living to ask for help. Those are the easiest kind of haunting to clear. You go down, you meditate, you ask what can I, help you with. Then sometimes you get a download. Oh, I just want a proper burial. I don't know that the spirit doesn't know that it's dead. I just go to call the Sifu, come down and come back, Or sometimes the person is buried not of the religion that he or she was when she was alive. So the spirit cannot cross over. Actually, it's very common.
Okay.
But it's also very sensitive because the family would want a certain religious burial, but the person who's deceased was of a different faith. Sorry, your father really wants the Taoist burial. Sure, fight on.
Yeah.
So then we have to call the spirit out, like, okay, you follow us, we will do a proper burial for you, and then you can go across to the other side, just to help. Then they'll tell, the spirit's gone, the spirit's gone. You can't even say that it's your father who was haunting you, because that's not in their paradigm of understanding. There's also one case where someone drowned, and then the relative of the drowned victim had a series of nightmares. So we went around to help to elevate the spirit to move out of the water, because the soul was held back by a dominant entity in the lake that did not want to let the spirit go. So most of these things I do sometimes can't even who to bill. No person to bill, right?
Yeah.
You just do, I guess it's for the karma. You don't even think for the karma, to be honest. You just do it because a spirit needs help. And you just do it. And after you finish it, haunting stops. That kind is the easiest because the spirit wants to go away already. It needs help already. You know, it's cooperating with you. The kind of spirit that doesn't want to cooperate with you, maybe it was shackled down by a bomo or a spiritual practitioner and sent to the person's house to cause as much damage as possible. And in some of these extreme cases, the damage is to take your life.
Wow.
Then you go and try to bargain and communicate. So the spirit said, "I'm sorry, I cannot." So then you need to surgically sever the tie between the master and this spirit without the master knowing. Because if the master knows, then you and the master one-to-one already, right? Spiritual battle. Then if you cut, sometimes they say, "Okay, never mind, I just call another spirit." So after you go home, you think you cleanse already, the house still haunted again. Then the family is like, "Hey, how come you say you clean and my house still haunted?"
Come
Then
again.
damn it. It's never ending. You're just fighting against someone with endless token trying to fight you.
Yeah.
And there are some cases that we really cannot solve easily. Some of the cases that almost require the other person to do a spiritual burial, spiritual death. And in that time of 1-2 years fighting the battle, we see the victim lose weight, sick, kena cancer, no job to even use to pay for anything. So it really, when you're dealing with the paranormal, right, it really hits you at the places it hurts the most. It's so subtle. Your wealth, your health, your relationship.
What do you suggest, like people before they move into a new house? What should they do? Like, is there certain checks or certain people they can invite just to take a look and make sure the house is like okay to move in?
Most of us Asians would do our basic ritual, right?
Yes.
Like roll the pineapple in, blessings.
Yes.
I mean, Asians, we are still very superstitious at heart, no matter what. We will still bless the place. So I think that's mostly necessary. I don't want people to live life in fear, constantly having the spirituality at the top of their mind. Got new house. What if the heart? Wow, then even if your house not haunted, you think it's haunted, it will be haunted because you manifest something inside, right? But yeah, you really shouldn't live your life double thinking about things that you cannot see. So if you're going to go to a new place, if you are Chinese, following a Chinese custom, it's a custom for a reason, it's traditions for a reason. Because the old folks must have gotten a 10-year series answer to knowing how to bless your place and cleanse it. Just follow lah. Don't be like, now I'm modern. Why do this? This doesn't make sense. What is it so hard to roll a freaking pineapple in? Like, come on, you know. Then you don't do all this, suddenly your house haunted, then you then you have to reverse engineer again. I would just say, if it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, it makes the old folks happy, makes the spirits happy, just do it lah. Some people say, I cannot touch the offering, I cannot do burning. Well, then make sure that your faith is strong enough lah to overcome that lah. Because we talked about haunted houses, some places that we say, it's so haunted, like Bidadari lah, Tengah. Yeah, true. There are stories coming out from those places. But the number of hundreds of thousands of people living there got no story. But if you kiasi, then I'm going to pray a bit. No harm.
No harm. Since this episode is a Halloween special, right, we would like to deep dive into some of the stories, right, of supernatural happenings. And I believe all your experiences, right, we would like to look at two different ones. So first one is what is the craziest ghost story you have heard?
Quite a number of crazy ghost stories that I've heard over the 10 years. And many of them actually rank quite high up in my list of crazy stories. But I think to be fair to my confessors, I'll tell you my story instead. The latest crazy story that I cannot freaking explain. Latest as in just last week, guys.
Wow.
And it's crazy as hell.
Fresh off the boat.
Yeah. So, to give background information, this is my room. You can see there are artifacts around, and I like to think that my house is pretty secured and that any spirits are in my house are good spirits. And sometimes the spirits in the house can be quite playful. They never ever made their presence known to me. They sometimes appear in front of my wife, they'll touch her hair, then they run away. There'll be a young boy running in and out. Then she'll tell me, hey, I saw this boy. Your imagination. I just want to diss her because she's a skeptic all the time, right? And last time she'll tell me, don't exist one. So now when she's experiencing it, I'm like, don't exist. A month ago, I was sitting outside my living room and just watching Netflix. And this is my BTO storeroom door cupboard, which is the bomb shelter.
Oh, wow. Heavy.
Right? I was watching a horror show lah. Then it was like 2 a.m. and the cupboard door just opened by itself and clicked.
Oh, you.
Then both my cats also look up. So I walked there, then I closed the cupboard and I locked it. Turn up the handle, like make sure it's locked and secured. So I told myself, maybe I knock it or it's loose lah. And the thing just swing open. So next morning I went to work. My wife went off to do her things as well. And in the afternoon that she came back, late afternoon, so she called me out and said, do you come back and open the cupboard door? No lah, why would I open the storeroom door for what? We don't hardly take anything out. And once a year during spring cleaning, then we take out things and we use it, we put it back there. The whole year the storeroom never opened on. They said the cupboard was wide open. I told her, I think it's the cats lah. The cats open. Right? Then she said, okay, never mind. She closed the cupboard and we stacked things against the cupboard door to make sure that the door cannot open anymore, right? So nothing happened for about a week and a week plus after that. And as one morning, okay, so son went to school. We saw the 2 cats. We're like, oh, cats, bye. We're going to head off. So my wife and me left lah. Then we came back in a late evening, late afternoon. Walked in. It's like, hey, usually both cats will run out to our door to look for us. Or it's they are normal. Like, where's the other cat? And we go around looking for the cat. Toto, Toto, Toto. Hey, cannot find it. But we are sure they never run out. What? Right? We closed the door behind us. We saw 2 cats there. We closed. Where could it be? Windows all closed. What? Then we heard shout coming from inside the storeroom.
Yo.
And you're like, fuck. Then we moved all the things out of the cupboard, out of the doorway. Then we opened the storeroom door. The cat's inside.
Huh?
How? And it's a stumpy munchkin, no? And you know, if people say, oh, because they go through the air vent, right?
Yeah.
The air vent is right on top. And frankly, between the air vent hole and the metal plating, there's no space for a cat to go in without breaking its skull and its bones. There's no way. Anyway, my cat can't even jump on the couch, let alone jump on the air vent. I have no idea how the cat can teleport itself into the storeroom. Then I recall back one other incident during that 1 week plus downtime. I felt a cat jump over my back and started needing me, like how cats would, to show their love. So I turned around as I was sleeping. I turned around, wanted to see which cat was it lah. There's no cat. And from my vantage point, when I turned around, I would have been able to see if the cat had leapt off, run out of the room, whatever. I would have been able to see it. So at that point, I said, I think there's a ghost cat in the house trying to play with our cat. He wanted company. And that ghost cat is in the storeroom. Then I kind of talked about this story online with my community members. And the animal communicator says, yeah, there's a ghost cat in my house. Like, I put 2 and 2 together. I think they just want to play on it. Harmless.
Harmless. Wow.
But as far as mind-blowing craziness of can't even explain it, right? It just happened last week.
Oh wow, that's an insane thing. Wow. So if only there was like a video to see, like was it that like everything was moved away first, then the door opened and it went in, or was like
no. So I had my CCTV pointing to the storeroom. So after the storeroom door incident, right, my wife placed a CCTV there, right? I mean, instead of pointing to the living room, she pointed to the storeroom. But it's a motion sensor CCTV. So things must move in order for the thing to record.
Correct.
There was no recording, so means no movement.
In that case, Eugene, before we go on to the quickfire questions, right? Because I have heard your other very scary story before about the rosemary falling one. Could I invite you to share that one?
The rosary and
the rosary falling down one.
So I told this story to Jing Yong, and it's truly one of the most frightening experience I have. Because as I said, 99 out of 100 times, you go to a haunted place, you get knocking sound, door closing, door opening at most. And I literally threw myself into places that are so haunted, like cemeteries and everything. And I walk away unscared, thankfully. But it's one time that I was called to go to a house in Tampines, and it was about 2+ a.m. The family was terrorized by a haunting in the house. So when I arrived there, shortly before 3 a.m., I walked to the house. I still remember it's 27th of December, because a few days after Christmas, Christmas tree was still there. The house was beautiful. It was a Catholic house. When I got there, the family had already all their bags packed already. They did not want to stay there that night. They were ready to leave.
Oh.
So I walked in, and the wife was like, you please take a look. My house is haunted. Still laughing, So there was no fear at all. There was no preconceived notion that this house was haunted because it doesn't look haunted.
Yeah.
So I walked in and I said, okay, if there's any spirits here, please show yourself. 3 a.m., silence in the room, right? Mother Mary fell off the altar and crashed to the ground.
Wow.
Oh.
They look at me, I look at them. I say, I think the aircon too strong.
Oh.
I didn't even believe my bullshit, okay? I just had to give them an answer. Then in paranormal investigation, you always ask the same question twice. Just to confirm that the entity you're dealing with is truly there. It's not a natural phenomenon.
Yeah.
So I said, if that was you trying to communicate with me, please show me another sign. And just as I was to let my guard down and breathe a sigh of relief, the rosary beads flew from the altar, slide off the kitchen table, the dining room table, onto the floor.
Oh.
What kind of aircon can do that, bro?
Oh no.
Even if the windows were all open and the
Oh.
wind blow, the candles and everything would have flown out first and not the rosary beads, you know?
Yeah.
Science cannot explain that particular incident.
Yeah.
The wife dropped the key to the dining table because it was near the door. Says, you can stay here tonight. We are leaving. So they grabbed all their bags and they chung out and they left.
I would have thrown out also.
But I cannot chung, right? You called me to go to the house. I chung before you. A bit paiseh, right? So I said, never mind lah. I'll stay for tonight. And since the spirit is communicating, maybe you want to communicate some more lah. So then I put out all my equipment and everything. I started engaging the spirits. And I found out that, I mean, first of all, any entity that can screw around with your religious idols and religious artifacts is of a certain level of power. It's not your 7-month wandering spirit type. not likely dead grandfather spirit in the house.
Wandering around, not your everyday spirit, not your everyday vanilla spirit.
So I sat there and I started trying to communicate, and from the voices that I captured in the device, from just a general sense of what I'm dealing with, it felt like I was dealing with more than one spirits around.
Wow. Okay.
More than one. And people, when I tell these stories, people ask me, hey, Eugene, why you dare to stay? I said, knowledge is key. I'm dealing with something demonic. If it is a demonic entity, the demon has a certain target. It has a prime objective. I am not the target. I'm not the objective. Right? And the fact it's conversing with me, it wants to share information with me. That's why I was not scared, because I knew it was targeted at somebody in the house. My first suspect was the father.
Yeah.
Usually the man of the house. The father is usually like somebody's sus one. Because when it comes to black magic curses, right, two things. You take people's wife or you take people's money. Sure, cannot curse one. When people, vengeance one, they got nothing to lose. So it's usually the father. So after I asked how many spirits are there in the house, all my investigation just went silent. There's no more reading, no more light, no more EMF, nothing. Just nothing. So I said, okay. At the time I was still a smoker, so I said, I'm going to go out of the house and have a cigarette. So I walked out of the house, opened the door. I found in front of me 9 footwear, not 9 pairs, just 9, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 footwear arranged in a 3x3 format.
Wow.
Oh, yo.
When they left at about 3 a.m. plus, they dragged their bags, they fled, right? Everything was a mess outside.
Yeah.
Then at 5 a.m. plus, when I came out to smoke, I'm like, why is it arranged neatly? Don't tell me there's an OCD neighbor that between the hour of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. around arranging just your shoes,
They heard the commotion, they were just like, let me do something nice for these people.
So maybe, could be, should, there's always that nagging possibility behind, but something about 9 just told me that that's the answer. And so of course I asked the father questions because he's my target. I found out from the family that they've been living in this house for many years, 20 over years, and so it's not like a new house that they shifted in and there's a new haunting that began. And the husband is like, business not doing very well, but still hardworking, coming home to have dinner with the wife and the children for the last 20 years, not a philanderer, don't go xiang tiu one, good guy, not? Okay, so it's not woman, not money. Then what? Who else could it be? And as I searched down the line, I found out that actually it's one of the youngest family member who was dabbling in black magic.
Oh.
And
Okay.
on the hands, there's the tattoo of 9 names. Then
Alamak. Okay.
dun, dun, dun.
Wow. Did the youngest own up like after I say like why like
No, he never owned up. To his defense, he never owned up. So I have to be very smart in the way
Observant,
I interview them. Like I said, most of them when they do bad things, they will never tell you one.
yeah.
And because you're not a cop.
Yeah, correct.
you when you got people, I confess to you. After seeing the 9 names, I'm like, oh, why you got 9 names? You're only 17 years old. So my 9 friends have died. Wow, bro, you're 17, your 9 friends died. I was 35 back then. I don't even have 9 friends that died. I cannot count. No. Then I had to ask a pointed question. I said, how many of you are involved in the ritual? He said, 10, 9. Basically I set up a trap for him to fall in.
Yeah.
Eventually, I still called a master to come down to help with the cleansing. Couldn't cleanse, guys. Couldn't cleanse at all. The master said, somebody owed these spirits a debt, a blood debt. The spirits have the right to claim the life. I cannot do anything. If I do anything, means I take over.
Yeah.
I told the guy, I said, so this is what it is. You got to go and find the master who did it for you. He says, I don't know who the master, because I follow my friend. My friend was the one who brought us there. He died already. So I don't know who he called. I said, then good luck to you, bro. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. So you go and find. So eventually, I think he must have traced, right? Because I never hear from him for 2 years. I really thought he said already. He passed away. Then 2 years later, the parents called me up for Chinese New Year dinner. Then I went there and said, hey, everyone's still alive. Then there was no mention. There was no mention of that past incident. No one brought it up. There was no talk about it. I look at him, he look at me, and there's the whole sheepish grin and annoying. Right? Then the whole tattoo thing all kena laser out already. Okay lah. And from that day on, I've never heard from them. So I guess that Chinese New Year dinner was a closure for them and for me. Yeah. So some things really in paranormal investigation is it's not what's said, it's what's not said.
So I think that is a perfect way to round off the interview. So we will do a round of quick fire question with you before we conclude the interview. Okay, so which haunted place in Singapore is not actually that haunted? I mean, besides Pearl Hill .
Of course, Pearl Hill is not haunted at all. The other place that I would say that people say is haunted, but it's not, to me, is Bukit Brown Cemetery. I honestly would stay overnight at Bukit Brown Cemetery and sleep there comfortably and safely. And when I spoke to other paranormal, I spoke to other spiritual masters as well. They also say the same thing. Bukit Brown, very peaceful, very safe. But if you ask paranormal investigators, that place is haunted. I suppose it's haunted because you go there to disturb them. Like even Siglap, Kubo Kasim paranormal investigator said, haunted Pontianak. But when I was there and, I spoke to some of the caretakers and everything. Yeah. There's 13 guardian spirits there. But if you don't disturb them, why? They won't affect you. So if you go there to, hello, is there anything here? Trying to find ghosts, show yourself. Probably cannot whack by the guardians. It's haunted. Debunk this to answer the quick fire question. Cemeteries are not haunted places, even though most people think they are.
Then conversely, which location people don't think is haunted, but it's actually quite a haunted place?
I think Tengah actually. Tengah, surprisingly, on my record, comes as the most number of reported hauntings in one new estate.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's new. I mean, by right, it's not old 100-year-old place, right? It's not built on cemetery like Bidadari, right? So why should it be haunted?
Strange.
It should not. But yet it is. I have an explanation why. Our neighborhood, when they were built last time, the place of worship is built first. A temple is built first to appease the spirit.
Okay. I didn't know.
Tengah is the only estate in Singapore that when they built the estate, there was no prayer done, no cleansing done, no appeasement done, no temple was built.
Okay. Wow. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of
Very
sense.
angry, they're homeless.
Which movie do you feel depicts ghosts or paranormal activity the most accurately?
Actually, none of them. No, to be honest. Like what I mentioned to you, right? The real movie stuff and the real stuff that we do is very different.
I see.
But I would say that Medium, the movie, The Medium.
Okay.
Don't count the ending part lah. The entire starting part to the middle part is actually quite close to the encounters that we have seen.
Ouija board. Is it something accurate or is it just bullshit?
Highly inaccurate. I've tried Ouija board a couple of times. People have said Ouija board is an open up portal. No, I tried to to read with a fellow practitioner. He cannot give me a proper spelling. The plectrude keep going off the board. So I never get any good reading, no names, nothing, zero. But it moved lah. It moved on its own.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Dream location you will want to investigate.
Japan. Japan with all the yokais. I would really love to document it.
Wow, that's a whole different playground altogether. Japan has so much history, folklore,
I think the level of haunting,
mythology.
I also don't know how to deal with it because it's so different.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, do you think there are spirits with you now?
I believe they're always around us. And I believe they're good spirits. Guardian angel is a good spirit too.
Yeah.
Ancestral spirit is a good spirit as well. So I like to believe that they are there. But I can't see that. Don't have that. Or maybe even that ghost cat is there with me now.
yeah, the ghost cat wanting to play, patting you on the back.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have really learned a lot from you today, and of course, you are very busy currently with your time. But before we close off this episode, can you let our audience know where they can find you on social media and look out in the future?
You can find me on supernaturalconfessions.com. If you want to find out more about my ghost stories, YouTube is the best place to find out all my videos, all my content. youtube.com/supernaturalconfessions. If you want to find me in person, you want to practice your spiritual energy, you want to just expand your mind, check out The Halls on the Hill. That's my latest place at 195 Pearls Hill. TheHallsOnTheHill.com. We have lots of activities, meditation, live shows, events, speakers, all in one place. But the thing that I'm very proud of right now, and I do encourage you guys, Brendan and Chin Yong, to go and register an account as well, is oracate.com. ORACATE.com. Go in, go get an account, register is for free. I'm even going to give your listeners a promo code for 1 week free use. What it does is, Oracate is a system I created, and I'm very proud of it. It uses your face, your palm, your birth date, your birth time, which means your parcel and anthology, triangulate to give you the most accurate reading for your day. So when you wake up in the morning, you wonder what your day is going to be like. No longer wondering, because I'll tell you in the next 24 hours what to look out for. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., time to do business. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., mind your tongue because you're going to fight with somebody, you know? And it gives you very nice insight to optimize your life. So oracate.com, ORACATE.com. Use the promo code SCFNL7 for 1 week free use. And let me know if you like it.
Well, thank you so much, Eugene, and all the best at your new non-haunted office.
Thank you guys. I'll see you guys around. Come on down to the office as well next time.
Of course.
Yeah.